So take me through the process of now you're really good in football.
Yeah.
And now Troy comes calling. How'd that go?
Troy didn't come calling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Troy didn't come calling.
What happened?
This is the craziest story that I don't think anybody has really heard before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Got
gonna,
the exclusive.
yeah, it's gonna trip you out. It's gonna trip you out when you hear it. So I had finished school early, high school. So all I had was driver's education left. Driver's ed, you know driver's ed. Yeah,
I took it.
Yeah, so that's all I had left for my last semester in school. And so, you know, my Nigerian mentality, I didn't even consider that as like a real class because I was already driving. You know, to me I was like, man, what's this? So I just stopped going. I wasn't even going. To my head, I was finished with school. So I didn't even know I was accumulating tardies. Yeah, so I didn't even know. And so one day I got to you know school to eventually go to this driver's ed class, and the teacher pulled me to the side. It was like, listen, you haven't been showing up to this driver's ed class, so you have, I don't even know how many tardies. So they sent me to the principal's office. So I'm in the principal's office and I'm trying to explain to the principal that all I have is driver's ed. And I'm already driving. You know, I already have my license. Like, why do I have to?
What's the point?
He's not hearing that. So he's like, you have to go to in-school suspension.
ISS.
ISS. So I'm in 2 weeks of in-school suspension for tardies.
Yeah.
At this point in time, I'm done with high school, football. I hadn't been recruited by anybody. Nobody knew who I was. I hadn't got a scholarship offer, nothing. I wasn't even thinking about playing football. So I'm done. So I'm in school suspension, and the guy who's running the in-school suspension just so happens to be the running backs coach of the high school. So I'm sitting in there in school suspension. This is maybe like going into the second week. And the guy's like, Osi, what are you gonna do with your life now? And I tell him, I'm like, I don't have a clue. I have to go to college, you know, but I don't know how I'm gonna get into college. I don't know where I'm gonna get the money to pay for it. I don't know anything, but I know I'm here to go to college. He was like, oh, okay. He was like, you know, I feel like you have some sort of talent, man. Have you ever thought about walking on to a college to go play football? And I was like, the thought never crossed my mind. I was done with football. He was like, you sure you done? I was like, I mean, yeah. He was like, listen, just try and walk on somewhere. I was like, all right, cool, where? He was like, he has a friend that coaches at Troy University. He played college ball with the guy. So he was like, I'm gonna call this guy for you and, you know, see what he says. So he calls the guy by the name of Tracy Rocker, who's the defensive line coach at Troy. For some odd reason, Tracy was in Auburn at that particular time when he called him. So I'm sitting over there and he called Tracy. He picked up, he was like, Tracy, where you at? Tracy was like, man, I'm in Auburn. I came here to visit my parents. He was like, wow, that's crazy. Listen, I have this guy that I want you to look at. A guy by the name of Osi, you know, he's big, can run. You know, just look at him, maybe he can walk on, you know, at Troy. And Tracy was like, oh, okay, cool. I'll be there in 10 minutes. So Tracy now leaves his parents' house and comes to in-school suspension where I'm at.
Yeah.
And sees me, he's like, man, you're a big kid. He was like, man, let me see your tape. So they throw on the tape. You know, he sees me play, he sees me running around, not really doing anything, but he was like, man, you're good. You have some athleticism. He was like, can you run? I was like, yeah, because I was really fast at the time.
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah, he took me outside, timed me in the 40, and I ran like a 4.8 at the time. And I was like 270 pounds. I was a big kid.
Yeah, that's fast.
Yeah, and so he came back in. He calls Larry Brakely, who's the head coach at Troy, and they offered me a scholarship.
On the spot.
On the spot.
That's crazy.
All that took less than an hour. From him asking me what I'm gonna do with my life to being offered a scholarship within an hour. And that's how I got to Troy University, from being in school suspension. And that's how I got to play for the New York Giants, man.